Introduce is, let's face it, everyone's favorite human, Ksenia Solo.
Goodness. This is incredible. Thank you all so much for coming. I am so happy to be here. And it is my great and absolute pleasure to introduce our next guest. This gentleman does not need an introduction, but I will give him one anyway. Not only is he one of the most incredible people that I have ever met, but one of the most gifted actors that I've ever had the pleasure of working with. I love him very much. Kenzie loves him very much. He's the one, the only Trickster Rickster.
Hello, Georgia. Ksenia's going to do a quick photo of all you. Awesome. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce the sexiest dark fae to ever walk this earth. And I'm not talking about Vex. I've heard too much about Vex today. I'm talking about, well, you know, the red dress, the other dress,
the legs,
the other leg,
the hair,
the other leg. Well, today, she comes to you as something you've never seen before. She's pink, and she's a pony. Emmanuelle Bonnier. Dig the ponytail, guys.
It's my Lady Gaga meets Pinkie Pie pony look. And I figured that, the Morrigan would probably represent Lady Gaga in the Fae world, so why not?
I think she'd have her as one of her clients.
Killed her.
Suck that one dry.
Yep.
Let's see where our line. I have. There we go. I'll just swap. Okay.
Check one.
Let's go ahead and have you guys start lining up now. Do you have anybody lining up yet? Sheila, Erica? You do? Okay. Well, go ahead and start lining up with those ladies so that you can ask some questions. But while we're doing that, I have one question for you guys.
shoot.
Who would you say has been your favorite recurring character over the series? Somebody that is not a regular or that we don't necessarily see a lot, but that just is part of the Lost Girl world or was?
Massimo. The unexpected answer. Massimo never gets any love. And I have to hand it to Tim, who did such a wonderful job at making this completely psychotic person come to life. And it was not an easy job, and he had so much emotion behind what he was doing, and I think that's what really made the character work. And I wish he was around from the beginning. He always felt like part of the family to me.
Well, totally. I disagree with he never got any love, because I gave him love.
Oh, that's true. Sorry.
I gave him love.
I put that out of my memory.
Yeah, no, but in many ways. From a motherly sort of love to a
Twisted.
inappropriate. Well, I guess it started with inappropriate, nobody knew.
Yeah, right, yeah. It was
And we were
always
better for
inappropriate.
it.
Yeah, I didn't know, and then they told me. I was like, ew!
How about you, Rick?
The Garuda. I can't remember. It's a very difficult name. But he's an amazing guy, crazy, great actor. But he came on the show to play the Garuda, and he did the first episode that he was in, or the first couple of scenes, and then he had to go away, and he went off to Europe. And while he was in Europe, he stopped in Scotland and saw his tattoo artist. And so
Boy, did he ever.
And so the next time he comes back to the set, and he's like, "Hey everybody, I got a new tattoo." Whoosh! Down go his pants. And he has a Garuda tattoo.
Where?
Runs from here to here. All the way up the side of his body. That is commitment, people.
Commitment to the character.
I'm surprised you didn't see him. He was showing everybody. Makeup, hair, everybody. It's like, if he walked into a trailer, he wasn't wearing pants for very long. He was very proud of that tattoo.
Okay, we're going to start over here on the left with questions with Erica.
It's very clear that you all have an excellent rapport with each other, and there's a lot of fun and games and joking that goes around. What are your favorite practical jokes that have been played on the set? I know there's many.
I pretend to light Rachel Scarsden's stuff on fire while she's on set. And I take pictures, and then we just text back and forth, and it's a rapid spiral down a bad sort of, it just gets worse and worse.
I would think so.
I don't know. Do we do any practical jokes?
I certainly haven't pulled any. I'm really glad that no one's pulled any on me when I'm dealing with props or, my book of Faye or anything. It would be really scary and difficult to look at the wrong thing or whatever.
I feel like we more just make each other laugh. I think everybody has a very different sense of humor. So there's nonstop
Giggling.
Nonstop. See, Emmanuel is acting it out for you right now. There's nonstop giggling and fun, which is really nice when days get long and you get tired. It's good to keep everyone's energy up. But I don't know. We're not really jokesters. No one puts a whoopee cushion under anyone or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or do they?
Well,
Okay, this side.
Hi. Your show has been one of the only shows in television that has addressed polyamory and multiple relationships in a responsible way. Because of that, it's become, in the poly community, something that is really well known. You guys talk about that on set? Does that get addressed in writers' meetings and things like that? That it's such a huge thing to the poly community?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm stunned.
I don't know. Really, I didn't even know that. I didn't realize we were touching that community. Reaching that community, touching everything I was. Although let me just Freudian slip all over that. I didn't even realize that community, but it doesn't surprise me that they connected to our show, and that's great. I mean,
I think what the writers and also us as actors fight for is just to make sure that every relationship, no matter how twisted and complex,
twisted isn't the judgmental word either. Twisted is a good thing.
No, yeah,
She
no, I
looked at
think
Emmanuel when she said that.
I did not mean that in a bad way at all. But every relationship is very unique and not normal. That's a terrible way of putting it.
Average.
You know what?
Average.
Can I start again? Will you guys forgive me? I'm sorry. Okay,
what's not normal about it, Ksenia?
let me.
Explain it. Can you just
I mean, it's very unique. They're special relationships. Even Bo and Kenzie. How often do you find that friendship? It's not, what I mean is, it's not, to me, normal of the norm to find a friendship where two people would, die for each other, in a heartbeat. That's what I meant. But what I think we all fight for is the love. the real love, no matter who you are, gay, straight, blue, green, alien creature, whatever, it doesn't matter. We fight to have genuine relationships. And even when they're not genuine and they're a little darker and more twisteder. Do you guys know what I'm trying to say? Wow, I can't. You guys are making me so nervous. I can't talk. Sorry.
Good question. Difficult.
Okay, over here.
Hi, first I want to thank you guys. I love the cast and I love the show, and everything about this fandom has been just awesome the entire time, so thank you for that. My question is on behalf of Maverick Tom, who I know a lot of you know on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
It's for all of you, and he wants to know, tell us one thing you love or find annoying about the other characters on the show.
This is not going to be easy.
The characters or the people?
Yeah, you mean
Characters?
our characters find the other characters annoying, right?
Or I find Rick annoying.
Yeah.
Want to be
Which do you
clear.
mean? Because this pink pony beside me is really starting to get on my nerves. Rawr. Speaking of twisted relationships.
Let's just talk about the Morgan for a second and how pompous she is and thinks she can have everything she wants at the expense of everybody else. Let's just talk about that for a minute.
Kind of annoying.
But she's
Or
also
fun.
fabulous and sexy, and I totally want to make out with her, so
Yeah.
it's,
So does Crick, which is totally annoying, because
that's annoying, right?
I mean he's light, she's dark, and it's
You're
like
like,
a
I
whole
hate you?
it's a whole
Oh my
other
God, I
sitcom,
love you.
really. She's light, she's dark, they fight, they fart, I don't know. But yeah, no, absolutely. Like for Trick, I think even like on a surface level, not really deeply, because Trick loves all of his family that he has around him. But I think there have been times when he's been annoyed by Bo's, defiance, and by Kenzie's continuing
Stealing
to
shit.
push her defiance, and also being defiant and stealing his shit. It's like, don't take my little doll thing.
Or you're like 5,000-year-old scotch.
Yeah, or
But,
my-
like,
yeah,
you
or-
should have that locked up.
Or the Kingmore ring that he wears to stop bleeding to death. Maybe don't steal that from him. He's a blood king, he might need that. He bleeds. As a thing, like as a superhero skill. It's like, hold on. So, the Kingmore ring might be a good idea to keep around him.
Yeah, I think the Morgan probably finds I find Kenzie kind of a pest. She's always there. She's always getting in my shit, trying to make things right with the light and the dark and
Stealing Bruce from you.
stealing Bruce from me and then have. But
I
then
can't help
come
that he
back.
likes me better, so
Yeah.
sorry.
But he made a really good sushi platter.
Yeah.
Rushi? Yeah. Rushi.
Can I just acknowledge our awesome interpreter? Can we
Yeah,
give her
do that.
a round of applause? We were in San Diego one year and we had an interpreter and we went a little crazy with the naughty words and we took advantage of our interpreter and for that I'm sorry. I will try not to do that this time.
Yeah.
Penis. Lots of penis.
Yeah, what is the sign for that? Just that it's this. Oh, you touch your nose. Wow.
Sheila?
What was this? What's this one? This one was
Fishing for penises.
fishing. Okay, got it.
Kind of like fly fishing, but for a fly. What's behind it? I mean, zip. Sorry, I'm taking you with me in my brain. I haven't slept for about 36 hours because I was shooting Friday night, so which is why I've got
Ow.
the trick tattoo because it's not mine. It washes off eventually.
Well, don't tell them all your secrets.
They're not my secrets. They're only the secrets that a writer gave me. My secrets are locked in here.
The scripts on your show can sometimes be very complex and a little bit hard to follow. You might not get them right away, or at least I don't always know where things are going. And I was wondering for anybody who might have a good story about this, if you ever got anything in a script that you required more explanation and
Like every other episode.
Every
Like,
single episode
What
is like
the
that.
hell is a morograph?
and what that conversation was like between you and the person who was trying to explain this seemingly inexplicable thing to you.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, like, I'll read stuff and I'll be like, gee, okay, how do I say that word? And what is that? So it leads me to Google and Wikipedia, and I look at that, and I still don't know how to say it, but I know what it is now. Which leads to a very confusing conversation with a writer because I'm pronouncing the word incorrectly, so they don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But then I explain it to them, and as you listen to yourself explain like a fake character to somebody else, you're like, what do I do for a living? What the heck is going on? What alternate universe has swallowed me up and spit me out as like a 2,000-year-old bartender, I guess. But yeah, it is confusing. It's fun though, because it's fun to figure that stuff out and to follow the path. Like when we do a read-through, you're listening to the whole script and we're all reading it together and you're hearing everybody do their parts and the voices and that's when it kind of solidifies and becomes a little clearer because you actually hear the person's speaking those lines that you'd hear on the show. And so, and everyone brings their elements of what they understand their characters are and enlighten the rest of us. And so it becomes clearer when we do the read-throughs, often. And sometimes not.
Hi.
Hi.
My question is for you, Senior. Kenzie changed a lot over this season from pretty much every other season to a lot darker and more depressed for obvious reasons. And I was just wondering how you felt about that.
Dark and depressed. I very much believe that every character has to keep evolving and keep growing like a real person. So I would be very creatively unhappy if Kenzie was the same as she was, first episode of the first season. She really started this journey as a kid. And obviously when we grow and we turn into adults, we go through a lot. And maybe she's not going through what a normal person would go through. But she obviously has to experience things and get hurt and get her heart broken to keep growing and evolving. So to me, it felt like the right path to take. And I feel like the comedy wouldn't be as strong. And I don't think you guys would enjoy the comedy as much if that's all there was to her. It would get boring pretty fast. So I think it's important for her to experience darkness, and then bring her light into that darkness. That's what makes it interesting. So I was happy about it. It was, it was a tough season for me. It was very emotional, but I liked the challenge, so I was happy with where it went.
Hi guys, thanks for coming. This is a question for all of you. What's the greatest gift you will take away from this fandom? Sorry, I'm getting emotional because we love you so much.
Oh.
We love you guys too.
Yeah.
Thank you. God,
Yeah.
That made me all sad.
Well, let me bring us back to happy.
Yeah.
I guess certainly it's the relationships that we've all built and
Yeah.
the connections that we've all made as friends and like all the way down the line to the crew and the cast. But also, I think my biggest takeaway is just like how much this show is loved by you guys and how much that means to us. It's just been like mind-blowing. Like, look at all of you. It's incredible. We're so ecstatic. We're so pleased that we were able to create something or be a part of something that was created that reached all of you. And it means something. And it's just fantastic because as artists, you don't really want to do things completely in vain. You want to do something that sticks and it means something and it connects. And clearly we did. And that's the biggest, greatest thing that you can ask as an actor and an artist, I think.
The fact that, sometimes people come up to us and say, listen, I was going through a really hard time, and Lost Girl got me through it. That's, an incredible thing to know that we go to work and we play these characters and somehow we end up in your home and we help you through something in life. Like, that is bigger than anything I thought a sci-fi show could be, anything that I thought just a TV show could be. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. Like, to be able to come away from something and know that you've touched so many lives and you've made friends.
Yeah.
Aww.
Group hug. Group hug.
Sunglasses.
Does anybody?
There are tears here, just so I'm not lying. Not being dramatic.
Hi. There are so many great quips and lines throughout the show. What are some of your personal favorites?
Lines?
Like quips and lines, like, quick,
Do you mean
funny,
ones-
humorous things that you guys say back and forth to each other?
Scissor already? I like that
Wow.
Wow, no one
Yes,
ever
going
said that to
straight
me.
to the good stuff.
Poor Tricky sitting in his lair and everyone's scissoring each other. What the hell, eh? Oh no, let me look in one of my books. Yawn. You hear, what the hell's that sound?
I don't know where this is going.
Oh, yeah, I know. One of my, I don't know, P and the V? That went around the set for a while.
Oh my god, that was off screen.
Yeah.
We have this
I think that's you.
we just have this running thing. Ready, interpreter? We have this running thing. We go, like, when there's like a sex scene, which happens a lot. We go, oh, it's the P and the V day, or hey, are you putting the P in the V? There's a secret from the Lost Girl set.
Yeah.
This is what we say to each other.
But there's not a lot of P in the V, it's more like V in the V.
V in the V, true.
And like P in
You're
the P.
right, you're right.
And
You are absolutely right.
there's a little bit of P in the V.
A little bit more of the V and V, you're right, you're right.
Mostly V and V.
V and V. There's a lot of V and V.
Most of the sisters.
You heard it here first, folks.
Oh boy.
Okay.
We know that Chris and Casey and Paul were probably really dirty last year, so we're trying to keep it up. Because we're like way better guests, right?
This is the throwdown, is it? Okay, Sheila?
Every character in the show differs pretty heavily from each other, especially with all the different Fae powers. But I was wondering how you personally feel like you connect with your character and their abilities and their personality.
I go home every night and cut myself open. No, I mean, in terms of the supernatural stuff, I mean, that's just kind of an extrapolation. I mean, look around this room, we can all do it. We can all extrapolate to the idea of like that superhero or that supernatural kind of desire to be like that. But I think for me with Trick is more of it was about connecting myself to the other characters in the relationships. The brotherly relationship with Dyson and also the knight to the king and then the granddaughter and subsequently the other granddaughter. And you know, those kinds of caring relationships those are the, you know, more natural ways of humans connecting that you can use that to make it work for the scenes.
Emmanuel doesn't have to try too hard, you know, to play the Morgan. Because she's fabulous and lovely.
Why do I feel like there's like kind of a double meaning to that?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Something feels serrated about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a scissor action again. Poor Trick. What's going on up there?
I think for me with the Morgan, it's been nice to, as far as relating to sort of my life and, you know, who I am as a person, which in the beginning of the series, there wasn't a lot of, you know, the vulnerable sort of Morgan side. But in the last season or two, there's been, you know, I've been able to explore her more vulnerable side, especially with her being human and all that stuff. So that's been really nice because it shows another side to her, and not just sort of like this, I'm the evil queen and I, you know, melt people and just constantly fuck with people.
I know that one. It's this.
I think we have enjoyed seeing, we've enjoyed seeing that side of the Morgan, but she does make evil look good, does she not?
You're evil in a red dress.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
gonna order
over
the
here.
Morgan on a Coke can. They don't make that one yet. No. You can order it.
I wanted to thank you guys for coming out, just like everyone else. So with the announcement earlier this week that next season will be the final season, we know that...
Everybody's You people gotta get on Twitter, man.
Fun sponge.
Sorry. We know that when shows end, sometimes props tend to find their way into actors' possessions. If that were to happen, what would you have your eye on?
Geraldine.
My Valentino leather jacket that I wore that had the like little, yeah, she's got some good clothes.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling Jay might have dibs on that one.
Yeah.
He likes to wear women's
I think
clothes.
everyone has dibs on that one.
He likes to wear everybody's clothes.
It's true.
Yeah, no, I'd love to kind of take Trick's Book of Fae, but half of it's a furniture book.
Yeah, really.
But
Hey, you may need new
literally a
furniture one
book.
day.
It's like table built by blah, 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 blah. This is how to make a dove-angled thing, dovetailed, whatever. And but they've put in these pages that are truly authentically Fae. They're our stuff. Me personally, there's a picture that they've put in the Dow that was in the back room when Hale was the Ash, and it's this woman sitting in a grass skirt, and it's signed, "Thanks for all the great times, Tricky, love, Delilah." I don't know if you guys remember Delilah, but the woman that was on the phone, and I was on the phone trying to get away from her, and she's like, she was the Dreamy Weaver one, and I like that photograph. It actually reminds me of a picture that my family had at my cottage, similar. And so it kind of twigs a thing for me. So I'd like to take that. And there's a cool touch lamp that's got a stained glass thing in the bar. I wouldn't mind finding its way to my bedroom as a nice, reading lamp nightstand.
A lot of stuff.
That's only two things.
I'm gonna start writing a list, I think.
Yeah,
Turn in
exactly.
At the end, of the last day of shooting.
Mine's-
By the way, here.
My picture frame is probably worth $3. And the other thing, where's your Valentino? You know, like.
Yeah, it's a couple grand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. I'm walking away with that. I know I am. Whether they know it or not doesn't matter.
What I do love though is like if I put on some of Trick's clothes, because we're on the costuming part right now, and like some of his blazers, and I walk on the set, and people are like, "Whoa, that's so cool! You look so cool!" And I look at myself in the mirror, and I think I'm never gonna go out like Rick wouldn't wear this to the club, you know, like the leopard skin jacket with like the big leopard print, and it's like it looks fantastic on camera. It looks great opposite her and the old Ash, but would I wear it to the pub? Not bloody likely. So I don't, you know, there's things like that where you go, oh, I wish I'm just not. No, I'm not gonna take that. Anyway, I've rambled on.
Okay, over here.
Hello. Some of Kenzie's scenes, especially towards the end of the season, were especially beautiful but heart-wrenching to watch. I personally ugly cried twice on the couch by myself. But as an actor, how do you prepare and then recover from working on those scenes?
The scene with Massimo and Hale was probably one of the toughest, most exhausting experiences of my career. And I've had some criers. I've had to get very upset before, but this had so much meaning in so many different ways. It took me about a week to mentally prepare just to do it, because I knew that it would be a rough day. I knew that it would probably be 15 hours approximately of crying and screaming and getting beat up. So I don't know how I prepared. I knew that it had to be the deepest place that Kenzie would probably ever go. It was a really hard day. You know, I don't know what magical answer I could give you as to what got me there, but I don't think I had to try too hard. I mean, it was Hale, it was Casey in front of me, and he was so dedicated to making it genuine and beautiful and heartfelt. And Tim was doing such an amazing job being the bastard that he was.
Which he's not. He's a really sweet guy.
He's like the sweetest guy ever. That's why I feel bad, because everyone thinks he's totally evil, but he's not. I was a wreck after that day. I think it took me like a week to prepare and then a week just to recover. Physically, it was incredibly draining. And again, you have to go there and you have to be true to these characters, and you do what you have to do, and that's it. And then you just deal with the after effects. Sorry, I hope I answered. I'm just like a rambler today. What's happening?
You're catching my disease.
Well, I will say, I thought that scene, and maybe the audience will agree, was probably the most shocking scene that I witnessed on television all year, honestly. It came out of, and you guys were great. You really were. Okay, over here.
Thanks so much for being here. I think part of why the show speaks to so many people is because it celebrates female sexuality so much in a society that doesn't always. And so what I'm curious about is whether that's always been smooth sailing for the cast and crew, or whether there's ever been challenges along the lines of, oh, can we do that on this channel? Or how will the public react to this? And sort of how that reality and that uniqueness of the show has played into your experience.
I think that's kind of up to the writers and the broadcaster to kind of take care of that. Like, when the script comes to the cast and the crew, it's already been approved by the broadcaster to be like, this is okay. And in fact, like, you know, if we have an idea to even improvise a line or like want to change the script, you know, you have to ask, you can try changing it in the rehearsal, and then they might come and go, yeah, Rick, that was a great idea, but if you could just stick to the script, that'd be great. So you go back to the words that they'd actually written. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of their baby on that, and I think they've been pretty great at being sensitive about all those topics and all those areas.
Well, and I think also they've been really brave about pushing the boundaries and allowing, things that most networks would probably be like, no, we're not going to do that. Or that they might, dumb down and soften and, kind of make light of. We've actually been able to go all the way with it and really,
Scissor the hell out of it.
Scissor the hell out of every single episode. It's just never gonna get old, is it?
Not when I'm around. I'm gonna beat that dead pink horse. You like that one? Huh?
I think also, if I can speak on behalf of all the women on the show, I think we've all been incredibly proud from day one to be a part of something that's about female power and owning who you are and making your own decisions and not letting, anyone else come and take over and do that for you. You stand your ground and you fight for what you want and you go and you get it. So So kudos, and I have to say kudos to Jay Firestone, who, in my opinion, is like he's like the girls' guy. Like all the projects that he works on, mostly all of them, are about these strong female characters, and I so admire and respect him for that. So he's got a special place in all our hearts because of that, because we owe this show to him, and the power that it's given us women and as actures.
And just to add on to that, as a man representative in the show, I love that part. Like I love supporting the women. I love that part of Trick of being, it's like, you go girl, you go kick that Garuda's ass. Let's take that bastard down, he's a jerk. Is what I'm saying inside, that's my subtext for most scenes. But yeah, like to be that supportive and I think all of us, all the men in the show are very much supportive of the women, and the women being powerful and not feeling threatened by having the women in the more powerful roles, and the men being the kind of supporters of it. So we've switched it around in the classic sense, which is fantastic, because it's about time, right? Like, how boring is it gonna get? It's like, you got one penis talking to another penis about some business. Throw some beat in there.
That shit already.
Yeah, scissor that shit.
And I think the reason it's even more impressive is that it's not necessarily spoken of as being a male-female thing. It's just demonstrated. It's show me, not tell me.
Yes.
And that makes it even more powerful, I think, for viewers too. Okay, we have a question right here in the front.
For Kinsey, if you could create a perfect boyfriend for Kinsey, what would that be?
Oh my God! That is the craziest question I've ever been asked. Thank you for now putting the pressure on me. Oh, wow.
Whatever you say, every guy you meet from now on is going to try to be exactly that.
Okay, perfect.
Casey Collins abs.
Okay, yeah.
Put them together like a puzzle. Take pieces from everybody else.
Casey Collins abs with like Aaron Ashmore's sensitivity and like musical abilities, and like guitar playing. Cause like when remember when Nate put that guitar around Kenzie and like pulled her in for a kiss? Yeah, that would work on me. God, I don't know. It would have to be, first of all, somebody who could somehow understand her world. Somebody who would allow her and not be threatened by her strength, and her courage. And if she says, listen, I gotta go and help save my best friend's life, a guy who's not gonna stand in her way. And I think that is a pretty rare thing to find. But they are out there, I know you are.
Yeah, does he sharpen his little Gary sword and help you with
I think that'd be hot, right? I don't want like a guy who's like sitting at home on the couch being like, yeah, babe, you take care of it. With like Geraldine being like, babe, I gotta go. Okay, yeah, I'll just be here with my Cheetos, like watching Netflix. No, for sure. I need like a strong, sexy guy who can wield some nunchucks or something.
Who likes little cute dogs as well.
Who likes little cute dogs as well. Very
Poodles,
important, thank you.
specifically.
Poodles,
Poodles.
specifically. Yes, thank you. That's a very cool question. I've actually never thought of that. So now I will go home and think of the perfect man.
Make a list, right? Yeah. Okay, we have time for one more question, I believe.
Hi, my question's actually about food. So I just discovered today that meatloaf has like breadcrumbs in it, and I had no idea. And I didn't know that you could also make it with turkey. So I'm curious, is there any food with ingredients that you've ever been surprised about, or any food that you've ever modified to like?
You mean our lives?
Yes. In
Or the
your
characters? Because my character doesn't seem to eat.
It's because I steal all the food. So wait, so like us as people or not us as people?
Oh, gee. Our cast, the list is long and mighty. The various foods that we've... I mean, each season it seems like we've gone through collectively a different
Yeah.
kind of like...
We have like...
Let's give up this year. Like,
We have
I mean,
like...
this has been the most gluten-free year of our entire set.
We have like set specials. We have like the Rachel Spa sandwich, which is...
Everything on a bread.
No, which is like gluten-free bread with like avocado and cucumber with a little sea salt and a little lemon. We have the Anna rice dish, which is quinoa or like brown rice with steamed vegetables. It's really good. We try to stay healthy. It doesn't always work, but
I like that one. That one's
yeah. Chris Holden Reed doesn't really follow any rules. Anytime I would have seen him for breakfast, he comes out of the craft truck and I'm not kidding you, like a mound of food, like on his plate. And I'm like, what? I don't even know or want to know what that is. It's some kind of like burrito with steak, eggs, bacon, sausage. I'm not sure what's happening there.
Okay, that would be after he'd done his episode where he took off his shirt.
After.
Because if he's doing before he takes off his shirt, he's not eating anything. He's an angry son of a... No, I'm kidding.
That's the effort he puts into looking good for you guys.
Yeah, but he does, and he's taught me actually quite a bit. You drop the extra carbs, you go low carb. You go low carb, man. You get ripped. Try it out. It's kind of fun.
How about you, Emmanuel? What are your like go-tos?
There's the little baby muffins that they make in the morning. Love those. Especially if you walk in and they've just come out of the oven. And I'm like, ooh, and I'll just wait there. And
Emmanuel will not go to set unless she has a baby muffin.
I want my baby muffin now! I'm not leaving my trailer! I just slam the door and go in there and wait. No. I like my little Egg McMuffin in the morning as well. That's sort of like a good little standby that I have. The granola with the fruit and the yogurt. And I don't know what this woman puts in it, but it doesn't taste like, it tastes like candy, but everything in it looks healthy. It's seemingly healthy.
It's sugar-coated heroin
It really,
on granola.
I just find myself spooning more and more and more into it, and it's gotta have like a bazillion calories in it, and it's like full of sugar, but everything's natural. It's sort of like I love the new ad for Pepsi with all natural or pure natural sugar. I'm like, well, what was in it before?
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Car oil, apparently.
Well, everyone, let's give them a hand for being here. It was a great crowd. Thank you. And make sure to come back. Same place tomorrow, 11:30.
Thank you guys. Lots of love.
Is this one?